Sam, what's your prediction for 2024?
I've so I don't know if this has actually been officially announced yet or not, as I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. But I think there is most definitely going to be an RMC coming to Alton Towers. I am so sure. I know we've been speculating on that for years, but I think this is the year that's going to happen, or it's going to be announced at least, because obviously there's the talk of the indoor coaster, right? That's going to come. But more specifically, if we look back to earlier in the year when they were doing all these teaser videos about what was coming next into the Merlin worlds and things, they teased with an RMC Cup. One of the not Imagineers, but Merlin's version of Imagineers was holding an RMC Cup and was teasing by the fact that it was very much on the cards. And I still think that's, they know, like Alton Towers, Merlin have suddenly got to a point now where they're appeasing more to enthusiasts and to try and get the enthusiasts on board again. I guess because they're trying to focus on the annual pass holders and things like that. Like a couple of years ago, they were really pushed for the annual pass holders to create a bit more of a community like Disney has. I mean, now I feel like they're now pushing more towards the enthusiast community. So I feel they're leaning into that a bit more. And Alton Towers, Blackpool are very good at doing that. I feel like Alton Towers are slowly getting there as the brand to really push towards the enthusiasts more and more and more. And so I am sort of in my head thinking that they are probably going to announce an RMC for Alton Towers. Whether that is going to be involved with the indoor coaster that's going to be coming there, I don't know. Who knows? But I genuinely think an RMC needs to happen in the UK soon. I think it's the one thing that we're all waiting for. They know everyone's waiting for. So whether that's going to be Blackpool or Alton Towers, if it's going to be anywhere in the Merlin parks around the country, it will be Alton Towers because it will be a flagship attraction. But Blackpool is also very coaster heavy and famous for the coasters there, so it could be them as well. So that is my prediction. I am so sure that it's going to be Alton Towers.
They were hinting about like a 12-13 million pound new ride, and it was that indoor ride that, and people are saying it's a secret weapon. So it all sort of leads in that kind of direction, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, you got to think, why haven't they done an RMC already, right? I mean, they've been wanting one for years and years and years. We've been screaming for one, for years and years and years. And they're popular, right? There was a surge in the last 5 years of RMCs getting built all over the shop. So why are we've got a lot of theme parks in our tiny island of the UK. So why has no one taken the plunge yet? Because they don't want to just build, maybe perhaps speculation, perhaps they don't want to build just a normal RMC, quote unquote, like, because if you try and build what's already been built, but build it lesser, then it won't be as impactful. Like, you're not going to be Still Vengeance, right? To many people. So why would we build something that's already out there, but just won't not build it as well, or it's not going to be able to compete in the world of RMCs? Do you understand where I'm coming from? So if we make it a secret weapon and make it a world first, then maybe that would then put it on an entirely different pedestal, and we don't have to compete with the other RMCs out there.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
now you've said it. It would, with Project Horizon. I think when we looked at the footprint, it's not got a massive footprint. I think the footprint is, it is a coaster size, but kind of, not a huge coaster size. Now you said RMC, I'm thinking it would be really good to have a single rail RMC in there potentially. That's something we don't have in the UK, but obviously we do have them. The Six Flags keep building them. They keep calling them, Wonder Woman, Wonder Loop, or whatever Six Flags keep calling all their rides. It's always some sort of DC related ride in it because it's in that color. It's yellow, so it's a Wonder Woman ride. There you go. But that would be good. But that wouldn't be a world's first, would it? So it's interesting. So I don't know if RMC have any other. I'll have to have a look into this because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking RMC did have. I'm sure that they announced some sort of new ride system that hasn't been built yet, and I might be imagining that, but I'm sure that I read something about that earlier last year. So who knows? Yeah, we don't know what's going on with Project Horizon, but that's interesting. Do you think that? Are you saying that Project Horizon will be an RMC related ride, or are you saying that Project Horizon will be something, and then there'll be an RMC related ride later on down the road?
I'm going to say both, in all honesty. I could see Project Horizon being an RMC, being a world first, some sort of world first element involved that is RMC. So they are the first park in the UK to have an RMC, but they've done it in a way where they can't be competing with the other RMCs out there. So they're already different, right? Because if they were just to build a family RMC, they run the risk and the danger of people saying, it's good, but it's no Untamed. It's good, but it's no Wildfire.
Could it be the world's first single rail coaster in the dark? Because that's not
right. It could be something like that. It would chuck whatever superlative or environment thing that you can do, right, to make it a world first. But it would need to be a world first so that it stands out from the rest and therefore can't be compared to other RMCs out there. And I think it would be such a big hit for the park for the next Secret Weapon. You know what I mean? Here's an RMC. Here's a world first. It's in the dark. It's all weather round. It's open all year. Because I think that's where Alton Towers is moving into, right? It's going to be the first resort, which is 365. Chessington is already pretty close to 365. Alton Towers hasn't quite officially gone 365 yet. They are very, very, very close. But I think it's just all they need is a few more indoor spaces or all weather spaces, and then it very much could become that. And it would be perfect.